One fine morning, the sun had just risen over the Lake of Galilee. The shimmering waves reflected the golden light. A gentle breeze blew and flocks of birds flew across the clear blue sky. People from everywhere flocked to the shore. They wore simple coarse robes. The elderly leaned on canes. Children held their parents' hands, all crowded on the shore, their eyes eager to hear the word. In front of that crowd, Jesus stepped into a small boat. The waves gently lapped against the side, the oars hung at his side. He sat down, his pure white robe lightly draped over him, his blue shawl fluttering in the wind. The morning light reflected on his gentle face, making the crowd quiet and wait. And in that space, Jesus began to tell a simple yet profound parable. He said, "There was a sower who went out into the field. He wore a simple brown robe and held a bag of seeds in his hand. The fields stretched out, some hard ground along the roadside, some rocky, some overgrown with thorns and some rich, fertile soil. The sower walked slowly, tossing handfuls of seeds. The seeds flew into the air, glistening in the sunlight, and fell on different types of soil. Some seeds fell on the hard roadside. The ground was cracked and dry, not allowing the seeds to penetrate deeply. They lay on the ground, and soon the birds of the air swooped down, pecked at them, and carried them away. The sower was patient, walking on, because he knew that not all the seeds were wasted. Some seeds fell on rocky ground. At first they grew very quickly, as if full of life. The green shoots shook in the wind, but their roots were shallow, not deep enough to hold on. When the sun rose high, the intense heat beat down the young plants, wilted and dried up, all withered, leaving only dry rocks. Some seeds fell among thorns. At first they also sprouted, trying to reach for the light. But the thorns grew thick and sharp, entangling, weighing down and choking. The young buds were squeezed, unable to grow, and then gradually withered. That young life was extinguished among the thorns, and some seeds fell into good soil. The soil was soft and spongy, full of life. The seeds lay deep, absorbing the night dew, receiving the sunlight, taking root, and growing stronger day by day. The trees grew firmly, their roots were deep, their trunks stretched high, their leaves were lush green. Then the season came, flowers bloomed, and fruit filled the branches. The harvest came, and the yield was abundant. Some trees yielded 100-fold, some 60, some 30. The fields became full of life and fertility. When the story ended, Jesus and his disciples sat under the shade of a tree by the lake. They asked, "Teacher, explain this parable to us." Jesus looked at them with a gentle gaze, then slowly taught, "The seed is the word of God. The seed that fell by the roadside represents those who hear the word, but the devil comes and takes it away, so that they do not believe and are not saved. The seed that fell on rocky ground represents those who receive it with joy, but when faced with trials, they give up because they do not have strong roots. The seed that fell among thorns represents those who hear the word, but are choked by worries, riches, and the desires of this life, so they do not bear fruit. The seed that fell on good soil represents those who hear, keep it, persevere in practice, and bear abundant fruit. As the afternoon gradually falls, the golden light of sunset covers the vast fields. The waves of rice sway in the wind as proof of abundant life. Jesus